As you guys know, my passion is relationships. Don't have a lot of time because my phone is a little low. I made another video about the lady that want to come back again. I want to talk about being submissive. I want to unlock you ladies. If you listen to me, guys, ladies, your relationship would be amazing. But you have to follow this throughout the Bible, from the book of Genesis all the way to the Titus, to the book of Peter. We see that the Bible talks about being submissive and obedient to your husbands. I think one of the things that we always forget, guys, we have been so manipulated by Satan that we think submissiveness, submitting, obedience. I hate that. I'm a person. Guys. If you listen, ladies, if you lock into the characteristics of womanhood, biblical womanhood, submissiveness, like the Hebrew woman of old, submissiveness, kindness, obedience, you will have a man eating out of your hand. I'm serious. He will eat out of your hand. See, the thing is, by nature, we've programmed the women to be competitive with men. I'm gonna tell you, guys, listen to me. This is gonna bless your spirit. It started when the women were able to enter the workforce. When they entered the workforce and they was working, and it really wasn't an issue, but then the people who was ahead of the feminist movement brought it to the attention that women needed raises, they needed this and they needed that. And they seen men as mere competition. So when you see men as competition, no one in the laws of nature submits to their competition, especially not willingly. You only submit to your competition if your competition conquers you. And we feel, and too often, we are competing within the context of our relationship. That's why we have so much trouble. That's why we hate submitting, because we see it as competition. I don't have a problem buying a gift for a person I love. But if it's a person I'm in competition with, I'm not buying you nothing. That's the same thing in our relationships. You have to, you have to. I wish I can go give scriptures, because I got Titus, I got Peter, 3:1, I got Genesis 3:16. I got all these bookmarked, but I don't have time to go here, so you guys have to maybe read them later. But we have to understand that you're in a team. You're locked into a team in your relationship, and my God, what a beautiful. That's a turn on when you're willing to serve your teammate, when you're willing to serve the person that you're fighting war with. When you think about it, guys, don't always look at I have to be obedient. Well, I have to serve you just because it's you. Look at it as I'm serving you and I'm helping our mission as a family. And not only that, but I'm serving you as a part of my ministry before the living God, because truly marriage is a ministry. And it's not based on what your husband do. Uh-oh, that's a kicker right there. Truly. It's not based on if your husband clean up the dishes, he getting some good sex tonight. No, I have a duty to submit. And I'm submitting past what is happening to me. Meaning I'm submitting because I'm submitting by God and through Christ. It's not a matter of what you do. I think too often the gospel's been watered down with some ideology that's of this world that says you can only submit if your husband doing this, if he doing this. That's not the word of God, ladies and gentlemen. That's just not the word of God. It's not no ifs. The Bible says submit to your husbands as unto the Lord. As unto the Lord. Preferably both of you should be in God. But then as we see in the book of Peter, Peter talks about winning over your husband if he's not saved by those submissive, kind, obedient type of attributes. But I just want you ladies in a relationship, and those who are single, when you get in one, practice not just kindness. Be kind, sweet, and practice being submissive. Practice practice serving your mate. Practice doing some things that he says I think we should do. It could be some things where you're like, boy, you stupid. You want to go do this, but just roll with it. Just play with it for a while. Give it a few months and just see how he will react. When you start being kind, submissive, sweet, giving into his desires, you will have him eating out your hand. Why? Because that make him feel like a man. That make him feel like a king. You won't have to tell that joker to go work. When he say I got a woman at home that submits to me, it's gonna burn in his subconscious to say I better go keep her. I better go do something that I put it like this. If she's doing this for me taking care of her is the least I can do for her. But you have to understand the game. You have to understand psychology. We've been misled. We've been bamboozled. We've been tricked to think that, rah, I'm tough. I'm mean. I'm not submitting to you. It's this, guys. It's this. You see this? I got a fist and I got my hand out. This don't click. But if I put this one out and I put this one out, now we meshing. Now we meshing. And it only comes from that when you're willing to do your part as a woman. You know, and we can talk about what a man should do, and that's a whole nother video. But I just want to talk to my sisters. I want my sisters to walk in absolute. I call it supreme womanhood, and I want them to understand that supreme womanhood is walking in complete femininity, softness, kindness, loyalty, respect. Watching what you wear, knowing that when I'm out in public, I don't want my breast out. I don't want my backside out. I don't want my vagina out because I'm representing not only myself, but I am representing my husband as well. Be very mindful of what you wear when you're out in public because you're representing your mate as well. And that's not obedience talk. That's other stuff. And I love what Paul said in his letter to the book of Titus, how he said that the older women are to teach the young women to love their husbands and to be sober, to love their children and to be discreet and chaste, to be keepers at home, good and obedient to their husbands. That when you foster that spirit, obedience is a spirit carried out by an action. When you foster that obedience to your husband, you bring out the best in your husband. I'll repeat that. When you foster that spirit of obedience with action, you bring out the best in your husband. Guys want to feel attached. They want to feel connected emotionally. And so often men, they don't say it, but we want our woman to be connected. We want to know that you're fighting with us, you're fighting for us, but you're not fighting against us. You're fighting with us and you're fighting for us, but you're not fighting against us. That's not what we want. But we want to know that she's in this thing with me. She's loyal. If I say baby scratch my back, I don't have to get a why. I don't want to. No, that's hard. You talk that kind of talk to people who you're in competition with, people you don't like, but people that you love. Bring your back over here. I'll scratch it, then I'll kiss it, then I'll lick it. See, but I'm kind of being silly. But I'm saying you have to have that type of spirit about yourself, and you won't always feel like being like this, guys. Let's be honest. Some days you will not. But my whole thing is practice being kind, practice being submissive, and let that become more of a lifestyle. It is against nature, like a lot of things in the Bible. They are against what society, should I say, not nature but society. So you have one thing that want to pump up selfishness, one the spirit man wants to be submissive. Feed the spirit man and decrease or starve that physical man that tells you I don't want to do anything you say. Because why? When you starve that and you feed the spirit, you're cultivating a better relationship. Who don't want a better relationship? Why do I want to be in a relationship that is not good? If me being submissive, kind, loyal will help the relationship, then I believe it's almost best for me to do that. And I love what Peter said. Peter said in the book of Peter, he said he was talking about um maybe we can't find it real quick, but I love what Peter was saying about he said, as Sarah called Abraham Lord, called him Master. If you hear that today, you will have a lot of women and people will have a big issue with that. It's not so much of calling you Master. It's more so I'm respecting your position as leader in my life. It's ultimately respect at the end of the day. Don't look at submissive guys as something you're doing and it's killing you. Look at it as something you're doing that's building a relationship. First and foremost, well, being obedient to God, then building a relationship, then it's helping two people. We have to die to things that kill the relationship. Too many of us are fighting each other when we should be out there fighting the enemy. We should be out there conquering team goals. We should be out there doing things that are better the family. But we too often look at it like, I don't want to. There's a lot of stuff we don't want to do. But if I'm obligated to God, if I'm obligated to my spouse, I do it because it's my duty. And I believe out of love, you learn to do what pleases your mate. I don't always feel like buying you this. I don't always feel like going to work. But if I made a pledge to say, you know what? I'm going to take care of my wife the best I can. Even if I make $9 an hour, I'm going to be to work when I can. Why? Because I got a wife to take care of. That's the same thing you have to do with submissiveness. I don't always want to be submissive. I don't always want to be obedient, but I have a husband and I have God to take care of. So, guys, I want to kind of share that with you guys. Tell me what you think. I want to go over the scriptures, but I didn't really have time. Surprise, my phone is not dead. But I want the ladies, sisters, and y'all who are single, when you get in a relationship, when you get married, preferably, practice kindness. Practice being obedient. Practice it. Just practice it. Don't look at it like I'm demeaning myself. Rewire your brain to look at it like I'm bettering myself by bettering my relationship by being obedient to God. This is D, guys. I'm signing out. Have a blessed night. Take care. Leave comments, like, subscribe. Peace.